But probably what's going to happen right now, if you look at those gauges over there, I'm pretty sure that we're creeping up into the 20s already. So what I'm going to do, I've notified Central Control. Yes. Yes, in this case we are talking Fahrenheit. Okay guys, fingers away from all belts, pulleys, etc.
So that we start to get a discharge temperature, because this will get pretty hot. Right here we have suction gauge, high pressure gauge. Back to 120. I'm also checking for the light coming on here and that the plant is off. Then I'll go with the reset again. The next thing I'm going to test is my
inside the room. That's going to tell you as an operator that there is a leak. Okay? Okay. I'm going to shut off my condenser pump. Shut off my condenser fan. I now have no condensing happening. Now I'm going to stay right by the gauge and I'm going to monitor when the plant kicks out. As long as it's cool enough. And it's probably going to be a slow process. If I had both compressors running, it would be a lot quicker. So what's going to happen is this is going to keep on creeping up at about 200 to 205 psi. The high pressure control will trip out. But this may actually take a while. This is one test where you don't want to walk away from it when you're testing it. It'll come up a lot faster now. Compressor number 1 tripped out right after. Okay, so I performed that test and we're within the limits of what we want to have happen. Any idea why we would have them trip out at slightly different pressures here? In the old days, they used to have to screw around with it and manually turn it till it tripped out. What they've come up with, what somebody ingeniously designed, is we have a bypass loop that's built into it. If you come around on this side, I'll show you. So what they've simply done is they've plugged in a bypass loop so that when you close this valve, you still have your oil pressure normally running through your entire compressor, but the control is starved. So the control is recognizing a lack of oil. That way you can test the control without having to physically screw around with all the controls. Now a lot of these will have either a 30, 60, or a 90-second delay. Why would they put a delay in there?
Okay, so it's just a fluctuation and you don't want it to trip out, it's just a minor?
That and startup. When you have startup, you don't have any oil pressure for the first 5-10 seconds. If it was an automatic trip, you would be tripping your oil pressure all the time. This way, what's happening is, after 30 seconds of the oil control recognizing no oil pressure, then it will trip. One of the things that a lot of my guys don't do that I try to do is to actually time how long it takes, because they can be 30, 60, or 90, even all the way up to 120. Well, if you have no oil in this engine for 120 seconds, which is 2 minutes, odds are something's going to break. Something's going to give before that time. But whenever I get Simco to change out controls, I ask them to go to a 30 or a 60 second. It's just going to be, it's going to save your compressors. So now, turn that lever and start counting steam bolts. 30 seconds. Pretty well right on. My oil failure warning light has come on here. So that's what I like to see, 30 seconds on the oil failure. Now all what I have to do, turn this lever back up. Because that is temperature controlled, sometimes it'll take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes before I can reset that control and get the compressor back up and running. So I'll just hang tough and I'll wait for a couple of minutes, I'll reset that. What I've basically done is I've gone through all the guarded status tests that the Department of Labor expects me to perform on a weekly basis. So I guess what it comes down to now is questions. Other than, I don't know what the hell that is. Now, the oil pressure, the oil control is back in the loop. I'm going to press the button, and then I'll just test it. So this is going to kick back in. I'll let it kick back in. Then I'm going to shut the compressor off for our last questions. And it reset.